Welcome back to Dual Wield Gaming, guys, and today we're going to be taking a look at the pickups that we've gotten over the past few weeks. Now, I'm only going to show you guys the 3DS and DS games that I've picked up because I have so many other games that I don't want to fit it all into one video. It's just going to be too long. So let's go ahead and get started. Cade's going to start, and let's go dive right into it.
I'm going to start off with my DS games that I got now. I love the DS. It's probably my favorite game console, so I wanted to get all the games I used to have. So first off, it's Super Scribblenauts. I had this game when I was younger. It is complete. So I wanted to get it again, and luckily I was able to do that. I got it off eBay for pretty cheap. Actually, all these were in the same lot. So the next one is Lego Indiana Jones. I also had this one when I was younger, and funny thing happened. The seller actually put Lego Star Wars, which is in another case, but he put it in this case, and I'm not complaining because I love Lego Star Wars. So luckily I was able to find this at a pawn shop for only $3.
And it's funny because I actually bought a lot of games the other day, and it actually had a cart-only copy of that right after he bought it. So, and all the stuff that I'm going to be showing is all going to be complete copies. I don't have any of my loose stuff because I just don't want to show the little cartridges.
So the last two for the complete games were just kind of filler games, Club Penguin and Junior Classic Games. Now, I did play Club Penguin on the computer. I never played it on the DS, but
I was more of a Neopets guy growing up. But first off, we are going to be showing the Yoshi 3DS XL. Now, I haven't been playing a lot of retro games recently. It's more of just been on the Switch and the PS4. So I'm getting back into the older consoles I used to collect all the time. And just getting right back into it. Got a great deal on this. I actually had a coupon which made it free. So that was awesome. So we got a 3DS XL. And we're going to start off with a few DS games here. We're going to go with Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Now, I'm not sure which one of these I had as a kid, but I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! All the time. I actually played it before Pokemon. I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Before Pokemon, watched the show, played the TCG. So these are both complete, got them for a great price, and, I'm going to try and get all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, because the Pokemon games are kind of priced out over, $100. But I will be picking up spin-off games from the Pokemon series, like Pokemon Ranger, Shadows of Omnia. Now, this one's actually not complete. It is missing the manual. But I'm not really that concerned with missing manuals as long as they have the box to where I can display them nicely. I'm not too concerned about getting the manual. I can get that later on. And next up, we have Super Mario 64 DS. I've actually never played this game on the N64, but I did have it on the DS as a kid. Didn't play it too much, but I'm really excited to go back and play some of these legendary games that I've never played before. And this one actually came with my 3DS system, so I got this for free as well. And next up, we got Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box. I've never played a Professor Layton game, but for $5, couldn't pass it up. First party Nintendo titles. Can't go wrong with that. Go ahead.
So my last couple of DS games actually are loose. By couple, I mean 5. So we're just gonna go over them real quick. Lego Star Wars, like I said earlier, it came in with the Indiana Jones box. But I'm glad I got it because I love the Lego Star Wars games. The next one is Iron Man. I don't really remember much of it, but I do remember playing it a lot on my DS when I was younger. So I wanted to get that again. Like I said, I want to get all the old games I had. And the next one is Naruto Shippuden, Naruto Sasuke. I'm a big Naruto fan, so when I saw this, I wanted to get it. And it was really cheap, only like $3 for a DS game. And it's actually like a kind of good game. From what I played, it's a platformer. And I was kind of surprised it was going to be a platformer. But nonetheless, it was a good game.
Yeah, and if you guys can't see, I don't know if it's in the frame, but I've got tons of anime figures over here. I've got anime wall scrolls up. So we're big anime fans as well. We'll probably make videos on that and just, fighting games with anime characters in the future as well.
So the same pawn shop that I got the other Indiana Jones game, I got the second one on the DS, 2 for $5. It was a good deal. I don't think I ever played this game, but maybe I did now I think of it. So if I can get it out of the case, the next one is a 208 in 1 I guess just call a game, but it's just a flash cart. I think that's what they call
just
them.
like an emulation card. I also got one as well
Yeah.
just to play old games that are, you know, stupid expensive. I mean, all the Pokemon games are on it. So, I mean, it's just like using like coolroms.com back in the day on your PC. I used to do that a lot, but now that they're shut down, that's probably the best way to get it. They were like $20 a piece. And I mean, 200 games on it. There's like 100 to 150 that are really, really good. So, I'd recommend it if you don't want to spend all that money on the original copies. But for me, next up, we had a lot of 3 Nintendo DS games. But first party games, we have Mario Party here. I've never played this Mario Party on the DS, but it was in the lot. We also got Mario Kart DS. Now, this is probably the game I played most as a kid. I remember playing the battle mode against my friends. I'm pretty sure you had it as well, and we played it.
I loved it.
It's one of the best games. I love this Mario Kart game. Just played it a lot. It was great. And then I also got Mario Hoops 3-on-3, which I've never played. So I got all 3 of these games for $30. And heck, for $10 a piece, complete in box, I'm not going to pass that up. And it was a great deal. Next up, at Five Below, if you guys don't have a Five Below, it's pretty much, you know, a Dollar Tree, but everything's $5. They do have video games from time to time, so I picked up Lego Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings. You know, I love anything fantasy. You know, I love like Skyrim. So I'm probably never going to play it, but for $5, couldn't pass it up. And a game series that I actually just started is the Mana series. I got the collection of Mana on the Switch, and I'm playing Final Fantasy Adventures right now. I'm almost done. I'm probably like an hour away from beating it. So I had to pick up the 2 Mana games on the DS, both complete. Children of Mana and Heroes of Mana. Pretty good deals. I think I got them both for like $20 a piece, which is, you know, not bad. This one's a little less expensive. This one's a little more expensive, but you know, I love games like this, just weird RPGs that, you know, a lot of people don't play because, you know, they're like 60-hour games. It's really hard to get through them. Only dedicated fans are going to get through these games, but even if I don't get through them and play them, they're great for the collection. You know, RPGs are fun to have. Speaking of RPGs, we have Glory of Hercules. Now, this is a game I actually got when I first started collecting. I was probably like 15 or 16, and I never really played too much of it, maybe a few hours, and I don't remember much, but another RPG for like $10. Definitely can't pass it up. And 2 more games here. We have Crash of the Titans, and I can't remember if this is the one I beat on the Game Boy. I can't remember if this is on the Game Boy Advance or not, but big fan of Crash Bandicoot. Had it on the PS2 growing up. I mean, I've played the remastered trilogy on the PS4. I have it. So, you know, I love Crash Bandicoot. Fantastic series. And the last DS game we have here is Diddy Kong Racing. I never really played much of Diddy Kong Racing. I had it on the N64 and played a little bit of it. But growing up, we, you know, just played Mario Kart. But can't pass it up.
So my next games are a lot of 3DS games. I got this on eBay for $10. And if you're trying to look for games, go on eBay and just look for lots because you can find some good stuff. I think it was for $15 and I asked for 10. So, and I got 3 games. So I love Lego, as you can already tell. So the first one is Lego Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Personally, I wasn't really a fan of it. I didn't like how there was voice acting in it.
Yeah, I found it weird too. I had played it on the PS4 for a few hours and just didn't give that same feel as the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy on the PS2 or Wii or whatever you played it on.
Yeah, I just couldn't get into it, but something that I like more is Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars, and growing up I watched a lot of Clone Wars on TV, so...
Very good show.
I remember getting this on Wii, I believe, or 360, one of those two, and I remember playing it. It was actually really good, and I played a lot of it, so I'm glad I got that for really cheap. And then next one, the last for the 3DS, is Pirates of the Caribbean. I think we had this, or I think we got it for Christmas on the Wii from our grandparents, I think, one year.
I can't remember.
I think we did, but I think I remember playing this. Again, it was really cheap, so I couldn't pass on it. So
I mean, the Lego games are really fun, you know, just playing through the story that, you know, the movies had, and if you enjoy those movies, then it's, you know, a fun little playthrough. I think it's better than a lot of the like live action games. I guess you like normal games. I think the Lego games do a really good job, and some of them are actually like kind of difficult to get through, so they're not too hard, but they're fun. So next up for me, as I said, I'm not going to get any of the Pokemon games on the DS because they're just so expensive. But the 3DS Pokemon games are another story. They're still pretty cheap, and who knows if they're going to go up in value. They probably will, but I don't think they're going to go over that $100 mark or anything like that anytime soon. But to start off, we have Pokemon X and Y. I think I got, which one did I get at the pawn shop? Is it Y?
Yeah, you got
I got Y for like $20, and I got X in a lot of games, so I think I paid like 20 or 25 for it as well. So these are like $40 to $50 games now, so I'm really happy to pick these up. I don't think I've played any of the 3DS Pokemon games. I know I've played Omega Ruby because I played Ruby so much. So I haven't played like Omega Ruby, but I have played Ruby, more times than I should have. And then we have Ultra Sun and Regular Sun. I think I played a little bit of Sun when it came out, but then I sold my 3DS after I got it or something like that. So I haven't played too much of it. I've never beat any of these games, and I love Pokemon. I've played, every single Pokemon game. I'm pretty sure every single Pokemon game up to the 3DS. So it'll be fun to dive back into these at some point and give them a try and see how they compare to the DS games, which are fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Now, personally, I have beat all of those 3DS games. Pokemon's my favorite game series out there with Uncharted, so I beat all of them, and Pokemon Y is probably my favorite Pokemon game out of the bunch, or Pokemon Emerald, but I don't actually know. So these are actually the last of my games because I'm not made of money. So Star Wars The Force Unleashed on the Wii. Now, we didn't have it on the Wii, but we had it on the 360, I believe. And I remember playing it and liking a lot, and I think I beat the second one when we had it.
I can't remember if I beat the second one or not, but I've definitely beaten the first one. I can't remember if it was on 360 or PS3, but yeah.
One of the two.
Definitely a really, really good game. If you're a Star Wars fan, it's amazing. I definitely recommend it.
Now, probably my favorite game on this list, what I've got, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Now, this game I only got for $2, which was a steal, and I have so much nostalgia for this game. I remember the day that we got it, and I remember playing it so much. And playing co-op, which, if you ever played co-op, it's kind of frustrating sometimes. So, yeah, I remember playing this with my siblings, my brother and my sister, a lot, and then playing it on my own. So, yeah, I'm really glad I got this for only $2, and I think it's like a $25 game. So, yeah, glad I got that.
This is Tuxedo. He was eating while we were filming. He's probably gonna go back to eating, so sorry about that if he's doing that. Alright, so next up for my 3DS games are a bit of filler titles, but I decided why not. Sometimes I'm in the mood to pick up filler, sometimes I don't want it at all, so it just depends on how I'm feeling and how cheap it is. But we've got Big Hero 6 here. I actually just watched this movie like a few months ago for the first time. Absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorites now. Fantastic. But I probably never played the game, but it was $3, so why not? Next up, we have Legend of Korra. I actually got this, I don't know, a few years ago. I've had it in the collection, never sold it. I love Avatar, I love Korra. So it was a few bucks. I've actually played it on the PS4. Haven't played it on the 3DS because I haven't had a 3DS, but love Avatar, so I had to get that.
It's a pretty good game. I played it a little bit.
And next up, we have Hometown Story. I got this at the pawn shop with Professor Layton. It was $5, and I decided why not. It's a $10 game, brand new. But Harvest Moon type game. I love Stardew Valley. It was very fun, so I decided to just pick it up, put it in the collection.
Okay, so I lied. I actually forgot my NES games that I picked up. So let's do those. So these two, Bases Loaded and Baseball. Now, I like baseball. I'm a baseball fan. I will probably never play these, though, because it's baseball in the NES. But I think I played baseball for a little bit. And again, it's just baseball, so nothing too special. And then another sports game, golf. The same place I got baseball, I got at a pawn shop. It was only, I think, $2 or $3, so might as well pick it up. And it's definitely golf, so...
Just a little Mario Golf there.
Little Mario Golf. Now some better titles. Mock Rider. I got at the pawn shop with golf and baseball. It is a pretty good game. I played it for a little bit, and if you've ever played Mock Rider, I didn't realize you can change your speed after a little bit by pressing like up on the D-pad. So That was fun when I finally realized that, but it's a pretty fun game. I recommend it if you're looking for a cheap NES game to play if you don't have it already. And then these two games, I got Codename Viper and Section Z at a game store for I think like $10, and they're pretty hard games. Codename Viper is a platformer, and it's a hard one because if you get hit 2 times, you are dead. And I haven't even beat the first level yet, so we'll see if I can beat that. And then Section Z is a shooter, and it's actually kind of cool. By pressing A, you'll shoot to the right, and B, if you hit B, you shoot to the left. So it adds a new mechanic to the game that I haven't really seen in any other NES games or even the newer ones, which is kind of cool that they did this way back when it was made. So that was the end to my pickups so far.
Yeah, the NES games are super hard. You know, back when I first started collecting, I got an NES. I actually traded for it from someone on YouTube long time ago, and I actually still have that NES. He actually has it right now.
Yep.
But I played so many NES games. I loved Contra, Battletoads, Strider, Karnov, just so many games that are stupid hard. But it's actually really fun. You know, you beat a level and it's an accomplishment. You're like, oh my god, I finally, after hours, I beat one level. So, I mean, even like Mario, just playing through Mario, we were playing through Mario 2 the other day, and we were dying a lot. And I just started playing Mario on the Switch, or the Wii U version, the Wii U Deluxe version, and it's super easy. You know, you have like 40 lives after World 1. So, definitely different types of games, different level of difficulty. So, next up for my 3DS games, we have Super Smash Bros. You know, I've never played on the 3DS. Played the Wii U version. It's Smash Bros. It is what it is. Yeah. Next, we have Sonic All-Stars Racing. I've actually never played the Sonic Racing games either, just like the Diddy Kong. Just played Mario Kart when we had the chance. And then we have Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. So, funny thing is, as a kid, we had a GameCube, and we had Luigi's Mansion, but I could never figure out how to play the game. I mean, I was really little, so I couldn't figure out how to play it. We traded in, got a PS2 eventually because, you know, they were easier games, I guess, cheaper games. So, but I've never played Luigi's Mansion. We have Dark Moon now. I'd love to play the third one. Is it just called Luigi's Mansion 3?
Yeah,
Luigi's Mansion 3.
So.
And the original ones, but, you know, the original one's what, like $100 now probably?
Probably.
And then next up we have Mario Tennis Open, which he actually had, and I didn't know it was mine. So, add to the collection, I guess.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's tennis, but it adds to it, so...
Yeah, I actually have Mario Tennis Ultra Smash on the Wii U, so we should give that a try. Eventually just play through that, see how fun it is. Next up, we're going to go end with 5 3DS RPGs. So, first off, we have Ocarina of Time. So, I've never played Ocarina of Time. Have you played Ocarina of Time?
Maybe for a couple hours, but that's pretty much it.
Yep. I don't want to take any hate in the comments, but I've never played Ocarina of Time. I've also never played Majora's Mask. Just 2 games I've never played. I didn't have an N64. Even when I was collecting, I didn't have a lot of N64 games. I had an N64, but the games just, they didn't come around very often. You know, whenever we're out thrifting or even at game stores for good prices, there just wasn't a lot. So I was never able to play them, but I picked these up pretty much for what they're going for. I think I paid like $17 a piece for them as my alarm goes off. But I think I paid like 17 bucks a piece. They're like $20 to $25. But I decided, you know, I do want to eventually go back and replay them. And doing it on the 3DS is probably the best option because I do just like sitting down, like watching TV and playing games. So eventually I'll get around to playing those. But one Zelda game I have beaten is Link Between Worlds. So I actually played this when I think we were going on a trip or something.
Arkansas.
We were going to Arkansas.
Road trip.
And beat this game. It was fantastic. I loved it. I had to use a guide a few times to figure out where to go, which I know a lot of people don't like that, like using guides, using walkthroughs, but for me, if I don't, I just get really pissed off at the game and stop playing it.
Exactly.
So I like to play the game as much as I possibly can. Like I'll go through the dungeon a few times trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. I don't just like look it up immediately, but after like 30 minutes of not figuring out what I'm doing, I do look it up. But fantastic game. I highly recommend it. I'll probably give it a playthrough eventually.
Yeah, it's a great game. I never finished it, but I do want to play it again and beat it. So yeah.
Next up, our non-Zelda RPGs, we have Bravely Default. So I actually did get this at the pawn shop where I got Professor Layton. and the Pokemon game, all one pawn shop, different trip. But I believe this was like $25 to $30. And I didn't realize when I got home, it's now up to like $60 to $70, which is insane. But I do want to get Bravely Default Second Layer, I believe it's called, or End Layer or something like that. And then the new one just came out on the Switch. So I do want to play through this series as well. But you know how long RPGs are. I mean, I'm playing the Mana series right now. So eventually I'll get around to it. It's just nice to have in the collection, especially for a cheap price. And last but not least, we have Fire Emblem Echo Shadows of Valencia. I've actually never played a handheld Fire Emblem game. I love tactical RPGs. Fire Emblem Three Houses is one of my favorite games I have ever played. I mean, it is great. I absolutely loved it. I think I beat it in like a week or something. I remember one day I played for 10 hours straight. Fantastic game. Highly recommend it. And there's 3 different storylines. So I definitely wanted to pick up this one because it was like $20, $25. Couldn't pass it up. And I did play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance on the GameCube. I had that game so long ago. Sold it for like $120. It's now a $350 game. So I'm kind of sad that I'm never ever going to get that game again unless I find it for cheap. And even then, I'd kind of like want to sell it and get other games because it's just hard to keep a game that expensive when you can just buy other games as well. But it would definitely be a game that I'd love to have again if I could possibly get it. But pretty good RPGs here, and I'll definitely give them a try at some point. But that's going to be the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We're definitely going to be doing more. We have more games, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing pickup videos probably every week or every other week, depending on how much stuff that we get. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys in the next video.